Yeah. Yourself.
Thank you.
No problem. Do you want sugar or anything first? Hey, it's Tim with the University of Vinyl. I am back today with a new video, back from vacation. Those were just a couple opening scenes. My wife and I went to Ireland. We had about a 9-day, much-needed break, and pretty great time. It was nice to be in Ireland. I had been there before on business. But it had been about 15 years since I had been back. And we did kind of a driving trip. We went to Dublin, of course, flew into Dublin, couple nights in Dublin, and then kind of made our way south and then to the west of the country. What a beautiful country. Again, you do a little quick business trip into Dublin, and I had also been to Cork City before as well, but just having time to stretch out and relax, take in the countryside, and the accommodation, the hospitality in Ireland is, if you have not experienced it and if you have an opportunity, man, it is so highly recommended. The level of tourism in this country is just 5-star, top class, and that can be just grabbing lunch in a pub. The food quality just kicks America in the ass as far as I'm concerned. Fresh ingredients, fantastic food, decent prices. We were lucky because the US dollar is enjoying a particularly strong period against the euro. I mean, it's basically hit parity right now, and that wasn't always the case, of course. So that kind of helped in our favor. And you got to learn to drive on the opposite side of the road, and some of these roads can be very narrow. But what a great trip! I'm going to just kind of intersperse. I'm going to talk a little bit. I'm going to intersperse some photos and a couple of videos that I managed to take. Now, also, we need to talk about records and record shops. One thing I realize is I am very, very, very spoiled sitting here, north of Denver, Colorado. We have so many record stores compared to what I was able to find in Ireland. I did hit 2 small shops in Dublin, and I also visited another shop in Cork City. Spin Dizzy Records and Freebird Records. Great little shops in the center of Dublin. Highly recommended. They both were very well stocked with new titles, and then they both had kind of a respectable amount of used records, but nothing like I can find here every day of the week here in Colorado. Here in Fort Collins, where I am, just this week there are 2 new record stores that have announced that they've opened up this week. They're not huge places, but they both are going to be focused on used and new records. So that brings to count here, geez, I think that's over 5 record shops in one form or another here in Fort Collins, Colorado, which is just fantastic. Back to Ireland. I did pick up 2 records at Freebird Records. Freebird Records is not far from Temple Bar, and Temple Bar is a tourist trap. You have to kind of walk down the lane and just witness what is going on there, which is basically a bunch of stag parties, you know, hen parties, who knows what else, real bad karaoke bars. But anyway, this shop was not far from Temple Bar, and kind of a hidden away place. You have to walk down a long hallway, and it's a combination used books, record shop. Really nice people in there, and I did find two things. One that I wasn't really looking for, and the other one is something that I had missed on the June 18th Record Store Day drop. So yeah, I was able to pick up Beth Orton's debut album. That was Trailer Park. You know, this was originally released in 1996, and it has been released on vinyl before, but never across two 33 1/3 records. Also, it's got kind of a cool variant. It's called American Diner Blue. Kind of a nice, attractive flat blue disc. There is a view of that. You know, I had this album originally on CD. I played the hell out of this thing. I really love this girl's voice, and you know, she's kind of known as kind of a crossover. Folktronica is the word, I think. So she is a, you know, heavily steeped in folk, but and acoustic. But she has electronic elements in many of her albums, particularly this one. But this has got many, many great songs on it. There was a famous cover. That cover song was I Wish I Never Saw the Sunshine, which was a single off this album, originally done by the Ronettes. Beautiful, beautiful, achingly touching love song. But I actually like the more upbeat tunes on this album. She can be a little meandering and a little morose at times, but she also has just a real effervescence, pop perfection to a few of these songs. And this was a Record Store Day drop. They did another Beth Orton title on that June 18th drop as well. But this is the one I wanted, and I mentioned in a previous video that I entirely missed that second Record Store Day drop this year. So I was pleasantly surprised to find this, and I checked Discogs. There's no U.S. sellers selling this at the moment. So I don't know if you guys get a chance, if you are in the U.S., if you like singer-songwriter, folk, electronica, this is a great, great, great album to seek out. Beth Orton, Trailer Park. I had high hopes of finding, you know, a couple Elton John or David Bowie original UK pressings in Dublin. That wasn't to be, but I did find the third The album, Mind Bomb, from 1989 in the used bins, near mint condition. This was a UK European limited edition. It came with a full color poster, which I was pleased to see fully intact, and it included original inner sleeve as well. This is not the best The album by a long shot, but this is a cool The album because Matt Johnson kind of reached out and assembled a full band for this LP, and I think they toured behind it as well. Johnny Marr is guesting here on guitar on almost every track. You know, 1989, you think back to that time period, Johnny Marr was done with the Smiths. I think he was doing some work with Bernard Sumner of New Order. They had that band Electronic. I remember having that album out on CD as well. But anyway, yeah, he joined up with Matt Johnson on this album. This doesn't have the knock it out of the park single that Johnson had with his previous couple albums. But the music here is fantastic. The soundstage is amazing. This was mastered by the great Tim Young in the UK. Again, great separation of instruments. There's a guest vocal with Sinead O'Connor on one of these songs. If you can find this album, it's recommended. It's a grower, I would say that. Listening to this a few times now, there's a lot of nuance. There's some incredible playing on this album. Themes of religion and English politics, as you would expect from Matt Johnson. That is Mind Bomb, 1989, something I picked up at Freebird Records in Dublin. Really happy to find this. We actually managed to catch a little live traditional music in a pub on our second to last night in Ireland, and then we kind of made our way back to Dublin for one more final night in that city before we flew out on a Saturday morning, and actually managed to book a room in the Clarence Hotel, famously originally owned by Bono and The Edge. I'm not sure if they're still involved with that hotel, but what a great property. It is kind of facing the River Liffey. Great central Dublin location. The rooms have been redone. I think they took an original 2-star hotel and combined a lot of these rooms, so the room count is a lot lower than it used to be. But yeah, this hotel has been around for 20 years now, and it's basically a 4 or 5-star hotel these days. The cool thing about it was I had booked, the cheapest room I could find in this place, which was still not cheap. But when we checked in, we were given a free upgrade to one of the only 3 river-facing suites in the hotel. So we had a nice little living room, great king-size bed, and it was a nice way to kind of end this vacation. The other funny thing was just tuning into all the hotels and bed and breakfasts that we stayed in had BBC television channels and Sky News, and just kind of watching Boris Johnson's just unraveling occur in real time as we were enjoying the vacation. It was funny to watch, and man, you talk about some of the media in America. Those folks are all over Boris, poor Boris. But I think Mr. Johnson kind of did himself in. But I don't talk politics on this channel. I'm not a political expert, but it was fun to watch, being an American in Ireland, watching what kind of unraveled in Westminster during that week. That's all I have for today. I'm going to be shooting another couple videos real soon because I've got some more cool stuff to talk about. We'll see everybody back here very soon. Thanks for watching.